Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh yang bagi Datin. My name is Muhammad Syarul Hafiz. So today I will be presenting to you on this topic, the case study about China's forced technology transfer problem and what to do about it. So this article was written in June 2018 by a professor of economics and public policy at Carnegie Mellon University. So this article is all about United States in Trump's administration, which allege China government policy that allows into misappropriation of foreign technology. So that's basically all about it. So according to this article, Trump administration responded to this allegation by announcing a quick plan to impose tariff up to 60 billion worth of Chinese export product to US and also tightening Chinese investment governing rules in US. And upon China reaction as to respond to what the US plan being announced, US government again reacted by threatening another tariff threats up to 150 billion, and the trade war goes on. All right. So, and then what is the way and means of China forced technology transfer? So, based on reports by U.S. International Trade Commission and bipartisan report commission on the theft of American intellectual property 2013 and 2017. Both report concluded that China government has the weaknesses in enforcing IP rights. Therefore, another thing is China government, they adopt a policies deliberately designed to force foreign multinational to transfer strategic sensitive technology to indigenous Chinese firm. For example, if you want to make investment in China, then you have to partner with private firm in China. So the China firm, they must have the controlling stake in the company. That's number one. So number two, state-owned enterprise (SOEs) is the prominent players in key industries. And then China market is so huge, even though they understand that the consequences if they enter into Chinese market, so that they are exposed to this type of threat. But because of the China market is huge enough, so it is very hard for them to just put aside or just ignore any business related to China. Therefore, the forced technology transfer is actually be viewed as a voluntary act by firm, and it is actually beyond regulatory framework. So that's how the China did this to US. So as a result, the United States government they responded by imposing unthinkable tariff, and as the result of United States action, China again responded, and it created like what we understand as a China and US war, trade war. Okay. So so implication of forced transfer of technology according to Lai, Brandstatter, and Sagi, Gustafsson, and Segerstrom. fear of losing control of key technologies could prevent multinational corporations from shifting production to lower cost countries. So by preventing low cost country from fully realizing their competitive advantage in manufacturing established product, um, prevent advanced country from fully realizing their competitive advantage in developing new goods. Production costs are higher, efficiency is lower, and the rate of innovation in the global economy is lower than it would be in an equilibrium in which multinationals are able to retain control over their technology. And then slowing down the rate of innovation and make the consumer around the world suffer in the long run. So that means if you are trapped in a fear or in a dilemma of afraid of losing control of your key technologies, that basically logically it would prevent you from having your production in the low cost countries. That means you cannot, you don't have, you still have to operate in a higher cost for your production. So you are not taking advantage on this low cost of production as your competitive advantage. And then because of that, you cannot sell your product competitively. So your production cost is higher, efficiency is lower because you are lack of innovation. So therefore, in the longer run, you'll be losing to other parties in the future. However, this violated the WTO principle that forbid signatory state from requiring technology transfer in return of market access. But again, I would stress that what the China did was extra legal. It is beyond the regulatory measures because if you can see that if you want to invest in China, this so-called foreign company, they must tie up with local firm, local companies, but the local company must have controlling stake. So as a company that control this JV company, so you can do many kind of persuading in getting to know what are the technologies that you are using, and then how you can collaborate further, things like that. Okay. Okay, so what is the proposal by the author in effort to change the China behavior? So we know that the China policy, even though it is beyond legal framework, but again, it actually slowly slowly bring this company in China to actually transfer their technology in such a way that uh, they are forced to willingly transfer the technology. So what is this author suggest is number one, we need to have a we cannot impose sanction to all. We cannot punish everyone for this kind of problem with China. So this proposal, this author suggests to have a limited, targeted, and multilateral strategy in applying sanction solely to firms and individuals who are responsible for pressuring the forced technology transfer. So, but the problem is who's going to disclose the information because this would likely because of the fear of retribution from the China, and then so they won't get the business in China. So, however, that's the need for mechanism to monitor that enables and requires multinational to disclose when they are being subject to forced technology transfer. So how? Okay. So there's a Committee on Foreign Investment in US. This committee can be used as an instrument to limit the forces technology transfer to China. So this committee, by focusing only on technology licensing or transfer of critical technology to unaffiliated parties under the influence of the government of control or special concern. So it could be done by subjecting potentially forced technology transfer to the scrutiny of government investigation process with subpoena power. So because you are the government, so you can always subpoena just to to make your firm to reveal whatever that you if you want to do this, you must do this within your regulatory framework. Okay, so if you are you have the platform, so you use this platform to do the investigation process. So in the so you are not asking the company to reveal voluntarily, but you are using the government way of investigation process. So revised committee statute should stipulate a process that engages the expertise by several parties. So this committee needs to spell out an interagency evaluation process. So that means you ask everybody to together and then to discuss on whether this type of transfer of technology is it really happen to this particular company. So that means you should take this matter case by case. You cannot generalize to all, because it will actually harm the economy of the world as a whole. You see, and then when it is done like this, the review document this review must document a significant number of forced technology transfers where the economic value of appropriate technology is meaningfully large. So this review process should also be conducted in concert with key defense treaty allies and free trade agreement partners, and some degree of international concurrence should be required by statute before a country can be designated as one of special concern. So if they found out that there's evidence, so they can, this party can be nominated to be one of a country of special concern. So, so designated countries will be measured accordingly, and they are required to improve their practices. So they should be deleted from the list of country concerned if they improve on this situation. So that means this is more or less like um, uh, in a polite way to address the issue, rather than you go head to head one and another. Okay. So and then you can also use the complementary targeted sanction under International Emergency Economic Act of 1977. So this provides sweeping legal authority for the US president to order sanction of firm, individual and countries. So this was the legal basis for the US sanction recently imposed on the China-based telecommunication company ZTE, which quickly brought this major multinational to its knees. So you can, do this thing also, but you must at least have some sort of fundamental to proceed with discussion, and also to do some sort of harsh action against China. So it is not the important point is when you are handling a trade war, it cannot be simply a general uh, action. So it must be specific. So you must be very clear on what you want to do, right? So you can also do some sort of export control, and then according to Section 333 of the 1930 Tariff Act, allow firm to call upon the U.S. International Trade Commission to conduct an you can expedite investigation of the import of IP infringing product into the US market. So under this existing law, administrative law judge has the authority to order US customs to impound IP infringing import at the border. They can also use this one. And then by having a unilateral effort to strengthen US technological leadership in key domains, so this would be the critical ingredient for sustained technological leadership is, you know, uh, one way uh, to respond to this kind of, uh, uh, fear of technology transfer, which sooner or later I think you cannot avoid, is by increasing your local talent. So you must invest on human capital. For example, the abandoning of anti-immigrant position instead of embracing high-skilled immigration. So, Aurora, Brandstatter, and REF show that U.S. openness to immigration played a critical role in enabling Silicon Valley to respond to a software bias, shift in technology opportunity in IT, and opportunities Japan far more restrictive immigration regime effectively closed off to its IT firm. So, one way is to have more talented skills to continue the process of innovation in your country. So then only you can, make full use of what is your potential, rather than you are afraid of your competitor is going against you. See? So so this is all about my presentation today, Dr. Saraya. I hope this could meet your expectation. Thank you again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.